From the biggest moments
Can you believe it?
to gold medal championships,
Sidney Crosby, the golden goal!
it's your update on Canada's game. You're listening to the True North Ice podcast with Jacob Ewing and Caleb Schneider.
Welcome back, True North Ice podcast number 4. Jake, how are we feeling today?
Feeling great. 4 weeks already gone by. And yeah, I'm feeling good. Lots happening in hockey right now. Bit of a break in international.
Yeah.
But big things going on in the NHL. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, and you know what, Jake? I think the biggest news is that we got a new studio, eh?
We did.
How about that?
We got a new studio.
Exactly.
Isn't it sick?
It is sick. If you're watching on the YouTube, wow, you probably impressed, eh?
You've been blessed.
Like,
Your
watch
eyes have
this.
been
Watch
blessed.
this on YouTube. Bang.
Wow. Look at that. I don't even know
Isn't
what
that
camera he's
crazy?
playing right now, but I'm looking around.
You're on camera.
No, wait.
No,
What's
you're
up,
not.
folks?
It's me, bro.
Okay, sorry. I just
And we're
looked down.
back. Yeah, no, we got a new studio. Don't know how we did this, but we're here. And I'm ready to talk hockey. Do you want to tell the listeners what we are talking about today?
I would love to. I kind of gave a bit of a preview of it
Yeah.
when I first started talking.
Right.
But
Yep. Sorry.
lots going on in the NHL right now,
Mm-hmm.
and we are a Hockey Canada podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're talking all things of the 7 NHL teams from up north.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. The trade deadline just ended while we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
So brand new teams that are looking to push for the playoffs. Every team is in contention right now.
Yep.
So what we're going to do, Caleb, is we're going to rank each team through 1 through 7 of which we think which team is the best and
Okay.
can make the best effort towards Lord Stanley.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great episode. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what your rankings are as we rank each roster. It's very tough. I'd say, in my opinion, there's 3 top teams and then there's 4 bottom teams. And between those 3 top teams and 4 bottom teams, you could go either way, I think. Eh?
I mean, they're close, but me personally, I feel like I made my rankings pretty kind of swift.
Okay.
I feel like there's good teams, there's 3 really good teams, and there's
Yeah.
4 teams that are still fighting.
Yeah.
But I still feel like my rankings were, I made them pretty concise,
Oh, yeah.
pretty precise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy with them, but I'm interested to hear yours because I know we always have different opinions. So
You know what? We'll see. I kind of went a little straightforward, I think, this time around.
good.
The
Good.
4,
Use a
I
little
mean,
knowledge.
it can be controversial, but I don't think so, in my opinion.
Controversial.
Yeah. I didn't, and also, as we're recording this, it is March 12th, and due to politics, this podcast will be coming out in 2 weeks. We can't do anything about that, but March 12th is when we are doing this, and obviously things can change. Actually, today, Quinn Hughes is back in the lineup. Just big news. Fun
Big
fact.
news.
I don't know if that changes your rankings or not.
Nope.
With him being injured or not. It didn't change mine, to be honest. But I say we get into it, eh?
Let's do it.
Do you wanna, how do we want to do this? Do you want to do like top 3 teams and then talk about those?
Or do you want to
and
go? Let's go
do you
7
wanna
up.
go-
Yeah,
you
I
wanna
want to
go
go
7 up?
bottom up.
then okay, we
Work
can
our
do
way
that.
to the top.
I like that.
Um,
No, I like that.
So do you want to just name? Do you want to go? I say mine. You say yours, and then
Sure.
reasons.
Sure.
Alrighty. I'll start. Sure.
Okay.
I'll start. My number 7 team, and I also hope it is your number 17 because I believe out of all the teams, this is the team that is still in. I don't want to say the thick of a rebuild, but definitely
Okay, we do not have the same team.
in the middle, kind of in the middle, still of a rebuild, maybe on the end. I have the Montreal Canadiens as my number 7 team. A team that was very surprising to many this year, still very close to the playoffs. I believe they're just that in that spot right underneath the wild card.
Right now, they're like
68
2
points right
points
now.
up, yeah.
68 points, 5th in the Atlantic, so
Yep.
just below the Ottawa Senators for one of the wild card spots, and the Columbus Blue Jackets who have that second wild card. But very surprising, Mo. No one really, I think, had Montreal making a good push towards the playoffs. And apart from their really big 3 up front of Caulfield, Suzuki, and Slavkovsky,
Yeah.
I mean, the team is their top 6 is also composed of like Gallagher, Newhook, and Joshua Waugh. And you give because Kirby Dach's injured right now,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, he is.
But
done
even
for the
so,
year,
is he really a certified second line center? Like he's good. He's good.
I mean, do you want me to say mine so we can kind of debate this a little bit?
Sure.
I've got the Vancouver Canucks as my
Okay.
bottom team.
Okay.
Listen, it's a one-man team, eh? Right? Vancouver Canucks are a one-man team.
No, I mean, right now, currently,
The forward core is terrible. You can't even tell me who their top scorer in the forward is, like top scoring forward is.
their
Can
top
you?
scoring forward.
Without looking.
I just looked. It's Is it Jake DeBrusk?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's Connor Garland with 39 points at the moment.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking when you said scorer, I only
sorry.
went off goals. Okay.
No, I went sorry, points.
Hey, don't diss Connor Garland though. He's having a
I
great
know,
year.
no, he's having a great year, but 39 points in 64 games. Like, come on, like Nick Suzuki's up there, Cole Caulfield's up there,
Okay, but the here's the thing about the Vancouver Canucks.
Lane Hudson.
They're
is
really
doing all
deep.
right too.
I know.
He's not
Pardon me. I'm not gonna say
forward, but-
really deep, but
They've got better forwards.
who? Vancouver?
Montreal. They do.
Okay, apart from Caulfield,
Nick
Slafkovsky, and Suzuki.
Nick Suzuki is a number one center.
Yes.
The Vancouver Canucks don't have that.
You don't.
They don't. The
Pettersson
Canucks
had
don't
100
have
points.
that.
100 points 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
but right now, we're talking right now.
I know.
Who's got
I
the
get
better
that.
roster?
And I get that. But
Like if they both were at, I don't know, 6. Let's just do a hypothetical. They need 5 points in 3 games to get into the playoffs. I'd rather have the Montreal Canadiens or the Vancouver Canucks.
I just don't think I could do it.
I take my chances, and the Canucks goaltending is a little worse. Not terrible, but it's a little worse than Montreal's, eh?
I mean, it's not bad. Kevin Lankinen have a great year.
He's got a 905.
Great. That's good.
Yeah.
In today's NHL, that's a good save
That's fair.
percentage. He had that streak on the road where he was like
Yep.
phenomenal. Definitely kind of definitely saved the season a little bit
At the
with
start,
no
yeah.
Demko.
Oh, yeah, at the start. That's for sure.
Because Demko has been so interesting in and out of the lineup so many times. Is he healthy? Is he not? The answer, I guess, is still no. Seeloffs, I think a lot of people after the playoffs were like, oh, new number one. And it looks like his record, he has a 385
Yeah,
and he's 1-6-1. So he was maybe not the starter that
No.
Canucks fans wanted. I just think the Canucks are like, yes, Pettersson's having a down year. Besser maybe having a bit of a down year. But like other than that, like Philip Hedl that they got through the Rangers for the JT Miller trade is a really good player. Jake DeBrusk is having a good year. My biggest thing about the Vancouver Canucks is this is their bottom 6. Dakota Joshua, Teddy Bluger, Connor Garland, Kiefer Sherwood, Pius Suter, and Niels Hoglander.
But in
Like,
this
there's
situation,
no-
I'd rather have the younger, offensively talented forwards. They might not be as defensively reliable, but we've got the defense back there too, eh?
I know, but like even so, like the Canucks defense, is it even that bad? Like their top 4, of Philip Hronek, great defenseman. Quinn Hughes, best in the game.
Yep.
Marcus Pettersson, he's a decent defenseman. Picked him up from Pittsburgh a couple weeks ago.
Interesting.
And Tyler Myers, big guy. He's reliable. He's a veteran in the league now, right?
I guess.
I think Vancouver.
Tyler Myers is a -6 though.
You know what? He's a veteran though.
Okay. Well,
And you know what? The only thing about Vancouver is I think their lineup is, yes, Petey's having a down year. And yes, that's been the story so far, the Vancouver Canucks. They've had a lot of politics on the team with him and obviously JT Miller arguing. But I think the team still has too many solid pieces to put them at 7. And I think Montreal's going to be great, like top 5 team in the league in a couple of years. But like their bottom 6, like Joel Armia, Jake Evans, Emil Heineman, Pizzetta, Dvorak, Josh Anderson, like that's all right. Even their second line of like Joshua Waugh, Newhook, and Gallagher, like that bottom 9 is really nothing special at all. I just think Vancouver like has too many solid players.
Let's break this down here.
Okay.
Who has the better forward core?
Vancouver. That is my answer. I think top heavy.
Then we're never gonna get an answer here if you think that. Like I just don't see Vancouver's forward core. Like nobody's producing. Like Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield are right there with all those points.
Yes, and that's a great
what
line.
you need.
It's their only line.
Doesn't matter. There is no line in Vancouver. There literally isn't. Tell me who their line is.
Their line? You want me to tell
Are they producing?
the whole like their top guys aren't producing, but they're still getting numbers. Like Pius Suter, 16 goals this season, 13 assists from a guy who doesn't play 16 minutes a game. Bottom 6 forward, great numbers. Kiefer Sherwood, he's been really good this season too. 14 goals, 11 assists, 14 minutes. Connor Garland, 16 goals, 23 assists in 18. Like they just have a well-rounded roster. They don't like.
I could say the same thing about Montreal, and they're younger. The only reason that I have Montreal is the goaltending's a tad better, and the offensive talent is a little better too.
You know what? Now that I don't know. I don't think it's bad.
The defense, I would give Vancouver the defense, but remember, we see that Vancouver team without Quinn Hughes on the ice. It can fall apart instantly, right?
You know what? I don't like. I'm not like. I know I'm saying all these things about Montreal, but I don't think Montreal's a bad team at all. I think they're a good team.
None of these teams are bad at the moment, which is pretty incredible. You could say not even mediocre, but like there's a lot of teams in the mix, like Calgary, Vancouver, Montreal, Ottawa. They're all near they're right in the middle. They probably don't deserve to be in the middle because there's so many teams that are just average right now.
Yeah. And then the D-core. Let's talk about the D-core. Which one do you think is better?
Oh, it is Vancouver.
Okay.
They only have they've got 3 top dogs or 2 top. They've got Hronek and Quinn Hughes. And then that's about it. Like Lane Hudson's doing pretty well. Like he's got 50 points right now. And he's played 60 games? Like he's going to be a top 3 finalist
he's going to be
Calder.
insane.
And I just think I'd take my odds with Montreal.
You know what? Like now that I'm thinking about more about the offensive core, I'm not gonna say Montreal's is better, but it's definitely really really close for me.
Okay.
For me personally, but I think the defense, Quinn Hughes, the X factor, like that's an X factor. Quinn Hughes is an X factor player, and that really like especially when you get to the playoffs, you need an X factor player. You really do. You need at least one, and the Canucks really have that. Goaltending, yes, maybe a bit in the favor of the Canadians with Montembeault. Been pretty solid this season.
Yeah. And Jakub Dobish is
He's
kind of
also been a
taking
story.
that. He's taken that role, eh? He's got to wait. Like he's 9-13 right now. He's only played 11 games at this time.
Yeah.
His goals against average is below 2.5.
Okay.
Now that's the thing is that do you trust like Kevin Lankinen out of nowhere became good. Jakub Dobish came out of I don't know a shack. Like I didn't know where he came from.
No.
This guy showed up out of nowhere. Both these goalies showed up out of nowhere. And if the goaltending's gonna fail, you gotta have that offense to prop you up. I think Montreal would win a 5-4 game. I don't think Vancouver could do that very often.
And I just looked at the injury list, and somebody I forgot was on the Montreal Canadiens is Patrick Laine.
There
and
you go.
he definitely
that hurts.
if he
I
was
don't
in
know.
the
Is he
lineup.
coming back?
If
Is he coming back? I don't know.
I don't know either. I forget. But
I would assume
that's
so.
a huge add. That's a huge add to your top 6. I
Yeah,
know I was
exactly.
complaining about the Montreal top 6. It's because Kerber Dach and Patrick Laine are not in the lineup. So it's close. It really is close
Yeah.
to me, but I put Montreal at 7, so I will continue. Give me literally next season. Next season, I think Montreal will be above Vancouver.
Okay.
But just I think more of my reason was because of how good Vancouver has really been in the past, and they still have the same kind of core. They got
That's
no
fair.
JT Miller anymore, but I've seen what the Vancouver Canucks could do. Obviously going to Game 7 against the Edmonton Oilers. I know what they could do when they're all hitting. They're just in a bit of a slump right now. Let's move on.
Okay, let's
Anyways,
move on. We spent way too long on the 7th round.
we did.
Okay, number 6. Do you want me to go first?
Sure.
I got the Calgary Flames.
Okay, you're putting
I'm
the
doing the
Flames
2.
under.
I think those 2 West teams are weaker than the 2 East teams. Let's hear yours.
Let's hear mine. Mine, I believe, is also the Calgary
There you go.
Flames. Wow,
So,
look at that, agreeing.
I'll just quickly say we don't need to go too much on the Calgary Flames because we both had them at 6. Calgary had the edge over Vancouver. Like Calgary and Vancouver were very close for me, and I did at one point have Calgary at 7. But the thing that won me over was the goaltending. Dustin Wolf is having a great year. He's got a 9.15 save percentage, and I trust him. And Dan Vladar's, he's doing okay. He's got like a 900 save
Yeah, he's got
percentage.
good numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Calgary, obviously, maybe going into a bit of a rebuild potentially soon.
We'll see.
We'll see. Maybe I see they're on the
they're branding it as a retool.
Yeah,
but
I think
it's
that
not
makes
gonna
more
work.
sense.
It does make more sense, but it's not going to work. They should be rebuilding. Calgary has no offense, just like Vancouver.
Like they make the trade for Farabee and Frost. That does add to the top 9. Really
It does. They're doing all right.
gives them
Morgan
some depth.
Frost is doing pretty good when he came over.
Yeah, like you know what the team has like. They have some good offense. Their top 9's
That's
are
for
right.
sure.
Is like Matt Coronado and Mikael Backlund.
That's a good story.
and,
Matt Coronado.
Blake Coleman. Are they? Do you think they're top 6 forwards? All
No.
3 of those? No. They play in the
well,
top 6.
actually, hold on. Matt
Maybe-
Coronado can
yeah,
be a top 6.
I think Mark Coronado could play in the top
Michael
6. but
Backlund would be one of the best third-line centermen if he was a third-line centerman.
Yeah.
Blake Coleman, it's a toss-up. He's been good enough to be in the top 6 at moments through the past couple seasons.
Yeah. Is Joel Farabee a top 6 forward?
He's shown he has more potential to be a top 6, in my opinion. He, coming from the Flyers, I think he has a higher potential. He's young. I think he's like 25.
Okay. Yeah.
Morgan Frost definitely is a top. Like he could easily. He's a good second line center.
Yeah.
when they
Okay.
need him. And Morgan Frost is the only right-handed shot centerman, so he's going to get the minutes no matter what.
Okay. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't think. Calgary's offense is too bad.
It's all right. Like Jonathan Huberdeau and Nazem Kadri are both
Sharon
around
Govich?
50.
Someone
Sharon
else?
Govich is not doing well at all this year.
He's got 12 goals, 11 assists.
12 goal. Yeah, but that's not exactly what we want from a guy that we just gave like $6 million
Yep.
and was hoping for a better year.
Yep. But the thing is, like, he's still someone who's shown he could produce.
Yeah.
And-
23 points isn't cutting it though.
No. I agree with you. Yeah, Connor Zary, definitely crunching
Yeah,
some.
It's nice
minutes.
it's nice he's coming back. He was injured earlier for a while. It looked like he was going to be done for the season, but he's back. We'll see where that goes. I just don't. There's nothing there. Just blah.
Okay, and then their decor pretty
Decor's
much
interesting.
Uyghur and Anderson.
Kevin Ball's doing well.
Kevin Ball.
Joe
yeah.
Hanley is doing well. The rest,
Okay,
Let's move on. Number 5.
sure. Number 5.
So let's guess here.
Okay, I think mine might be pretty obvious, and I hope yours is too, because I think I know.
I think I know your 4th.
My 4th. Do you
Yeah.
know?
So I,
This
which
is
means I
5.
know
This
your
is
5.
5.
I know your 4th. So it
I
mean,
think
which means I know your 5th.
Okay,
your
I
5th
hope I know your 5th.
Your 5th is Vancouver.
My 5th is the Vancouver
Okay,
Canucks.
let's hear.
And
what you think.
I hope your 5th is the Montreal Canadiens.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I'm happy with that.
We went into it. There's not much to talk about here, eh?
No, we've already been over this.
Yeah, so we're not
Just
gonna-
inverse the opinions we
Yeah.
already said.
Yeah. I mean,
there you go.
Basically, what we discussed is that Vancouver is way worse than Montreal. And
don't
now
know
we'll move
about
on to
that.
number 4.
Okay,
We've got
let's
the
do it.
Ottawa Senators, right?
I do have
Yeah.
the Ottawa Senators finally kind of breaking free from those, maybe being the worst team in
Yeah.
Canada
Mm-hmm.
for a couple of years. They're looking very promising
Yes,
to
sir.
make the playoffs
That's
for the
for sure.
first time in 7 years.
Yeah.
4th, is it Ottawa?
It is Ottawa.
Okay, I
Yep.
would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
Allmark's doing well, 9-13. He's
so
keeping them in
well.
the games. First month and a little bit was suspect.
He's
but
really
back.
streaky. He had a terrible first month.
Yep.
Then he went on a run. I believe it was like an 8 or 9 game win streak in December. Came back in January. Was playing all right. Played a bit iffy. And now he's back on it. He's back
There
on
you
it
go.
again.
Yeah.
Very streaky goalie. But I'm sure he's going to figure it out. It's still his first season in Ottawa.
Yep.
Playing very good recently. And he's going to be a huge factor. Like we need him to play good. We haven't had good goaltending in Ottawa in so long. As you know, we had that streak of like Korpisalo, Talbot, and oh my God, who's the other one? Oh, Matt Murray. There it is. Just acquiring goalies who didn't work. Finally, Steve Stais decided to go out. Let's get a number 1.
Yeah, there you go.
And
And
Allmark's
it
been
worked
great.
out.
It's
Yeah,
been
it's
great.
working out.
And the top 9 now after the trade deadline, but big trades.
It's
Big
good.
trades in Ottawa.
Zetterlund's a good pickup. I
Yes.
like that. I was
Let's talk about
happy
the
for
bigger
you.
one though. So
Dylan Cousins,
Dylan Cousins,
3 points,
didn't know.
3 games.
Sen's Twitter and everyone in Sen's Army was thinking that we were going to keep the top 6 we've had since day one. We've developed these players, but we break it Josh Norris traded for Dylan Cousins and Dennis Gilbert, and also JBD, Jacob Bernard Docker. Cousins younger.
Yep.
Maybe not as much offensive power. Definitely not.
No.
When they're at their peak.
He's got a good contract.
He does.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a
He makes
contract.
$900K less than Josh Norris.
He's younger too.
He's younger by, I believe, 2 years, 2 or 3 years. We've seen him. He scored 31 goals, his career high. Big guy, 6'3".
Yeah.
So definitely perfect second line center.
It was a good pickup.
It was. I'm happy with it.
It's it's interesting what they gave up, but I like the trade overall for both teams.
Why do you say interesting to give up?
Just the way that Shane Pinto out the door is quite interesting. I don't know.
Josh Norris?
Josh Norris, not Shane Pinto. Sorry, my bad.
All good.
Josh Norris out the door is interesting to me.
You know what? It was the injuries, though.
Yeah,
Josh Norris, 2 shoulder surgeries already in his young career.
Yeah.
Been out of the lineup so much. And there's a stat going around for the Sens that when Stützle, Norris, and Pinto are on the lineup, we have a phenomenal record. But unfortunately, that hasn't happened too much over the 3 years that they've been playing together. And so we've been inconsistent and losing a bunch of games. That's why we've missed the playoffs so much recently. So Dylan Cousins, I think, maybe less offensive potential, but definitely going to be there more consistently. He's only missed 4 games in his career. So that's a big fact. That is the X factor about this trade.
Yeah, I mean.
Anyways, let's get talking about the team. Obviously led by one of the best captains in the league, Brady Tkachuk. Like Tim Stützle is a superstar. If you don't watch him, he just literally can do anything with the puck. He dances. He just keeps pucks so well. The top 6 is like
It's
confirmed.
Yeah.
Like it's good. I think he can keep up with some not all, some of the best teams in the league. Like Brady, Tim, Claude Giroux, Drake Batherson, Dylan Cousins, and David Perron's right now playing that on the second line. Doesn't have the best numbers right now, but he was injured. He was out. No, I wouldn't say injured, but he was out for most of the season with personal issues. Still somebody's on the older side, but definitely could still play up there in the lineup. And then even that third line, it is clicking right now with Ridley Gregg, Shane Pinto, and Michael Amadio, just firing on all cylinders. And I didn't even get to the new pickup, who's right now playing on the fourth line with Fabian Zetterlund, who could easily go play for, let's say, David Perron on that second line and finish out that top
depth.
6. Really does.
Adam Gaudette's good story. Came out of nowhere. 20 points in 60 games. He had a really good start.
Very good start. Now he's definitely cooled off. Definitely cooled off a lot. But still depth scoring. You know, he can score a big goal.
He's gonna score a random goal sometime.
Yeah. And on the defense, Sanderson obviously showed what he's made of finally to the world at the Four Nations face-off. Sens fans have been knowing it for a long time. He's a stud. Our number 1 defenseman now. Pas Shabbat, although Shabby's having a great year. Great year for Thomas Shabbat. He's back finally because he's playing with Nick Jensen. Zub's doing his thing with Sandy. And then that final decor, we trade JBD away because Montempolo's finally stepped up a little bit. Yeah. So Montempolo and Clevin. It's a fine third. Yeah, Hamrick.
We got to bring him up, right?
You know what?
We have to.
Travis Green loves giving him minutes, so he'll play at least 2/3 of the games, I guarantee you, for the rest of the stretch of the year. But overall, the team...
It is kind of funny. Travis Hamonic and Jake Sanderson are the 2 guys with the lowest plus-minus. Obviously, they split them up now, but yikes.
Yeah, well, when Zub was injured for a little bit of the season, it was Hammer and Sanderson playing together, and it was, Jake Sanderson carrying the load, let's just say that. So I'm sure Hamonic will take Sanderson out to dinner for having a good plus-minus. Yep. But overall, the Sens, super solid. And I think the playoff drought is finally going to be over. Fingers crossed as a Sens fan, because Sens Army needs a playoff run. I would love to see Brady in the playoffs. But number 4, top 2. There's 2 tiers of these Canadian teams. Yep. Top of the lower tier, for sure.
Exactly. And I'm glad we could kind of identify. I kind of assumed we got the same top 3 in the bottom 4.
It's hard to differ out of these top 3.
And now, I think, in my opinion, there's a clear-cut number 1.
I agree.
The other 2 could go anywhere else.
I think we are on the same page for number 1. I hope so. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I think it's pretty obvious.
I would like to say.
We're going to do number 3.
All right, let's do... I think we're going to have the same number 3. I really do think we're going to have the same number 3. Do you want to say it at the same time?
Sure.
All right,
3,
2, 1. Edmonton Oilers.
Yes,
there we go.
Bang. Same wavelength. So we got the... Okay. So we got the only thing that we switched, assuming the other 2 we got the same. The only two that we had different was Montreal and Vancouver, 5 and 7.
Yeah, which
We're not going back, but
no,
that's just
no,
interesting. It's a little boring.
I'll stand
but,
with my opinion. Maybe I
Yeah.
think. I don't know. I'm okay with that though.
Yeah. Edmonton's goalie is pretty interesting. Both have an .896 save percentage right now. They've got weak depth. They got 3 superstars, I'd say. The rest of the team not looking so hot. What do you got?
Well,
Actually, I got a fun. I just got to point it out. McDavid has a +2. He's only a +2. How is
Yeah.
that possible?
that's definitely, especially when he has
Sorry.
that many points as he has right now.
Yeah.
I believe he's around 80. I'm not going to add these points up,
Yeah.
but
I don't know if he can make Team Canada next year with that
okay.
plus minus.
Okay, maybe not, but we'll find out
We'll
next
find
year.
out. We'll find out.
Yeah, I agree with you. Not too much depth with this team. Like they have a little bit. Corey Perry, Connor Brown,
Yeah.
Max Jones, who they just acquired.
Nugent Hopkins is doing all right.
Nuge, but Nuge is not a depth piece. He is a top.
He would be a
six
depth
forward.
piece on some teams.
Nuge?
Like my number 1.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins.
He would be a depth piece on my number 1 team that I've got here.
No, Nuge is in the top 6. I believe in any team in the league. Maybe second. Okay, maybe third line. Maybe, but I don't.
Yeah,
would you
third line.
count that depth? Would you count that
Yeah.
depth? A third liner.
I
A
think
third
so.
liner. A middle 6.
Depth is somebody that you don't need to rely on scoring, but they still provide it.
Okay. Okay, maybe. I don't know.
Listen,
Jeff
he's got
Skinner?
39 points and he's playing with Draisaitl or McDavid.
Yeah.
That's not good enough. Hyman's not doing great either.
no.
They need
like,
to change something up in the offseason.
People were thinking the Oilers were going to make a move for a top 6 forward.
Yeah.
They did not, so they're sticking
Prices
with.
were so high for the trade deadline.
Yeah, but
You need
the
to
thing
win,
is,
though.
you need to win.
Exactly.
You need to win. Like this team was literally one game away from the Stanley Cup last season, and things are not going as well as they did last year. Maybe like they're winning games, yeah, but like Zach Hyman, 50-goal scorer, only
No,
22 this
yeah.
year, not the same player he was last year. It's down to a 2-man show on the offense with obviously 2 of the best players in the world in Draisaitl and McDavid.
Yeah.
But like I don't know.
If you were gonna give out the Hart, you would rather give it to Draisaitl, right?
Yeah.
If it was just between those two, obviously,
Yeah.
I don't know if I give it to either, but Draisaitl
It's almost at
definitely.
100 points right now
Yeah.
as we're recording. So, and that's insane. I think is he leading the league in points?
Who Draisaitl? Well,
It's either
Draisaitl's
him or-
at 97.
Yeah, and I think McKinnon's also up there too somewhere. I think McKinnon might be at 98. I could be tripping, but
No, McKinnon's at 102. Actually,
okay, there you go. Congrats,
I
McKinnon.
I think McKinnon's up there. Quinn Hughes is up there. Draisaitl's up there. Kucherov is having a sneaky season again. He's at freaking 92 points, which is crazy.
Yeah. Don't know if I'd call it sneaky. He's always good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, but like, personally, I forget about him sometimes, and he's just right there with freaking 100 points every year.
Yeah. Okay. Their decor, Kulak. All right. Bouchard.
We were talking about this the other day with an Oilers friend. Jake Wallman, Evan Bouchard is the most funniest thing ever, right?
Yeah, it is.
is.
You want that shutdown pair of Bouchard and Jake Wallman. Not really what you want. There's no defense on that pairing.
No.
2 players that could provide
It's
offense.
it's got to be so fun to watch, though.
You know
Watching them go up the ice, cough it up, come right
the
back
pairings
down.
that look like they
and
have right now
be
are
scared forever.
Kulak, Bouchard, and then Nurse and Wallman.
They
That's not a
were
bad.
they were on the top pair for a little bit,
Okay.
which was kind of funny. That was really funny.
I don't think that's a bad top 4.
No, it's okay.
And then Ty Emerson and Troy Stetcher.
Yeah,
the
Troy
bottom
Stetcher's
2.
fun.
Yeah,
Flames legend.
those are 2 all right defensemen.
Yeah.
Like I don't think their defense is honestly that bad. Their goaltending honestly
Goaltending's
brings them
is
very
interesting.
down. Yep. And yeah, they're
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to it. We know it's been the same. It's been like that for years.
Yep.
Same kind of team, right?
yeah.
And I think that's the same with number 2 team that I've got to.
Okay. And couple injuries. Obviously, you have Matthias Ekholm,
Yep.
who comes back, could be a huge factor. I don't know how long he's out for. But he's a very good defenseman.
Yeah.
Actually,
They've been battling, like,
if you add him to your
Victor
decor,
Arvidsson's been out for a little bit too.
and then also you can't forget about Trent Frederick, who they just added at the deadline. Another, I mean, depth piece. I
Sure.
think they needed a top 6 forward, but they had another depth piece to go along with. I don't know, Connor Brown, Matthias, Janmark, Skinner, Jones, Henrique, Perry, like another guy to add right in that bottom 6.
What was your thoughts on John Klingberg signing?
I mean, he's old. Like he's got
He was injured and old. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
That's an Edmonton Oilers kind of move, though.
It definitely is. But if Ekholm comes back, I would love to know. I'm going to find out right now how long he's out for. Because that's a big pickup if he comes back. Like, that decor is then...
I would doubt he comes back. But I don't know. But I think, there's not much else to it. I'm almost certain we got the same 2-1.
I think so, too. I don't think he's out. It doesn't sound like he's out for the year.
There you go. Well, if he's back, that's a good pickup. That would be a good playoff performer for them. They'll need that. And I say we move on to number 2. I think it's pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
In the city that we're from, that we're recording in right now, we got Toronto Maple Leafs number 2.
Yeah, I also have the Toronto Maple Leafs at number 2.
Yep.
Made some pickups at the deadline.
They did. They made a good Brandon Carlo pickup. That was a really good pickup. I like that for them.
Mm-hmm. As the Bruins were kind of selling everything away.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. That helps the Sens out, the Bruins selling.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, I was very happy to do that, especially when they traded away their captain, who is not going to wear the blue and white, which a lot of Leafs fans are mad at. He's going to wear instead the rivals, the Florida Panthers, which will be tough. But Scott Lawton and also another ad.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that pickup, though.
Huge.
Good depth player for them now.
Yeah, the perfect third-line center for the Leafs. And
goaltending's doing well.
Yep.
They've got 4 players with 50-plus points, which is what you like to see. I hate that I'm raving over them, but this is a thing. I feel like we've talked about this for, I don't know, it feels like 8 years. Like, they're always up there in the standings. The goaltending's always been questionable. Frederik Andersen, all those years. Now it's just like some random guy in net every year, it feels like. Anthony Stolarz is a .921 save percentage, which is really good. But again, came out of nowhere. We don't know if that's going to hold up. Joseph Wall, he's been injured for a little bit. He's been okay.
I don't know. I just think this year just feels a little different for the Leafs.
In a bad way or a good way?
In a good way.
Oh.
You're thinking bad.
I think it's not different. I think it's the same thing.
I think it's a little bit better. I like the Scott Lawton pull. I really do.
But we've also been saying that for forever.
I know, but like Brandon Carlo too. Like, they made splashes at the deadline. That's what they didn't need to do.
You know what? They're the second best roster right now. Playoffs, I don't know if I'd rank them the second best roster if we were doing playoffs.
Their team is just like, there's not a bad player in their
top I know, but lines. That's like what it's been for every single year. It's just, they're the second best team, and that's what we're doing right now. We're ranking based on right now on the roster, but I don't know.
Then their decor, obviously added Carlo, Morgan Riley. I believe having a little bit of a down year.
Yeah, he's doing
but
right.
It doesn't matter because Tanev has been a beast.
Yeah.
This kid, he's like plus 24 or something crazy like that.
Plus 26. Jake McCabe's a plus 20 right now.
Like, that's just unreal. Those are crazy numbers. Like,
Chris Tanev has a better plus minus than Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, and Leon Draisaitl has 97 points. So, that's just crazy to me. But
yeah, that's all I really got.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Leafs are a great team. There's not a bad player in their top 4 lines.
Yeah.
Their decor is good too.
Yeah.
I think it's going to really come down to see how their goalies play in the playoffs. I mean, we'll see. Stolarz, is he the guy?
We'll see.
Is Joseph Wall the guy?
We'll see. Maybe Matt Murray.
They have 2 goalies that they can go to.
That's for sure.
So, yeah.
I say we move on.
Right.
It's hard to talk about the same team when we got the same exact ranking, but we're on to the Winnipeg Jets.
Number 1 team in Canada, which, did you expect that after last season?
Not exactly. Obviously, probably could have thought Toronto or Edmonton would be taking that top spot.
I mean,
and
Edmonton.
They came out of nowhere. Like, how many games did they win to start the year? They're like 10, 0-2.
Yeah, I
Something
believe it was like
they had a big
10
run.
straight
They had the best start to a season ever, technically, without losing a regular season game or a regular regulation game in, like, was it 13, 14 games?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
And I think it's pretty simple. They've got the depth, they've got the offensive talent, they've got the best goalie in the league. I mean, it's you can't debate them being number 2. Like, there's no other team that's
number 1.
And like, are they the best team in the league?
Yeah.
Best roster in the league? No. Who's got the best roster?
After the deadline, maybe Dallas.
Dallas, Florida, maybe.
Florida. Oh, yeah. Can't forget Florida.
Washington's interesting, but they just don't have the same roster.
I think Washington is honestly the Winnipeg of the East.
Oh, yeah, for
A
sure.
team that, well, also, they're actually, both these teams, as we're recording, are tied for first in the league.
94.
And they're actually teams that maybe were a bit sneaky to even be this good, especially Washington. But
I think Winnipeg had more guys that have played for years, and they could show up. Down years, up years. A lot of them are having an up year. Washington, they brought in a lot of guys. It's been roster changes a lot more. Got a couple rookies come up. Connor McMichael finally gelling. Alexi Protas is out of nowhere. They're a little different, but yeah, the Jets, we're not going to be talking about the Capitals, but the Jets, best team by far.
Absolutely. Couple pickups during the deadline. Brendan Tanev joined the team.
Yep.
I should have Luke Shen. But everyone was thinking you got to add a second line center.
Yeah. That's fair.
They don't. They keep.
That's the only hole, I think.
Yeah. So right now they have Nemetsikov.
Like Gabe Velarde, sorry, is he's doing well. He's got 60 points, which is crazy.
It's really
and then
good.
Mark Scheifele, I believe Mark Scheifele's playing center, right?
He is. Yep.
So those two guys both have 60 points as centermen.
Velarde. I think I have Velarde right now as a right winger.
As a right wing on the top line?
Yep.
Okay. Well, he was a center for a while. You know what? They need that center spot, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to end them in the playoffs.
I think this is a play. Like
This is a beast.
This is a beast. This is a playoff juggernaut.
This is a beast.
Like they have depth throughout the lineup. Their captain Adam Lowry is on the third line, playing center with Nino Niederreiter and
got
Mason
great
Appleton. Like that's a
defensemen.
great third line.
Yeah.
like-
Josh Morrissey, amazing on defense, and they've got just a great defensive structure as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, forward core is great, defensive core is great.
And exclamation mark on Hellebuck.
Yeah, Hellebuck.
Because
We don't even need to talk about him. Come on.
he's the best goalie in
He's
the
the
league.
best goalie in the league. He's going to win the Vezina most likely.
He should.
He should. He
Absolutely, he
deserves it.
should. Well, maybe Logan Thompson, but shout out Canada,
that's true.
Canada goalie Logan Thompson.
Yeah.
But
U Sports legend.
U Sports
We're
legend.
going to be
and-
talking about U Sports soon. So
Yeah,
stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned. We talk all things Canada hockey.
Exactly.
But yeah, Logan Thompson should be on the Olympic team next year. Anyways, we're not going to get into that.
not.
Eric Comrie, their backup, he's an all right goal. He's good. 914 save
Yeah.
percentage. So even at, let's say Hellebuck, they take him out for a game, needs a break in the playoffs. Can't see it, but Comrie's good.
Eric
Back him up.
Comrie is a great backup
Anyways,
too.
the Jets are just a stacked team.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think Nemetstikov, he is their second line center right now, as they have it posted on the lines?
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
31
He's got
points.
31 points. I see 34, but oh no, 31. I'm an idiot. No, he's all right. They don't need they've got great offense. They just need a guy that can win the draw.
Yep.
And that's what he does.
Okay.
Doesn't take many penalty minutes. He's doing all right. They don't take many penalty minutes in general.
No, and that's why they're the best team in the league. Like that's how you become the best team in the league.
Well, guys, I think. Do you have any final thoughts on the rankings?
I mean, not really. I think it was pretty general. I mean, we hit
yeah.
6 out of 7 of our same exact teams that we had. Oh, pardon me, 5 out of 7 of the same exact team we had in order. Yeah. I mean, a lot of these teams are going to make the playoffs. At least 4. At least 4 of these teams for sure. Probably 5, to be honest. Maybe if one of. I mean, I don't want to say the Sens are guaranteed to make the playoffs, but they're definitely kind of a step above to make the playoffs over Calgary and Vancouver. And even Montreal. I mean, I guess the Canadians still have a chance. The race for the playoffs is very tight right now. 4 of the 7 teams are in the playoffs as we are recording this. As we are recording this.
It's going to be tough, but I think we should just do. Who do we think's going to make the playoffs right now?
Right now, I mean, okay, the Jets
who do
are
we
confirmed.
think?
Jets are confirmed.
Okay.
The Leafs.
Jets, Oilers, Leafs in.
Jets are Leafs in. Yeah,
It's the 4. It's the bottom 4.
absolutely. The next team in order
Yeah.
would be the Ottawa Senators. They are 5 points up of the team below them with 73 points. As we're speaking, obviously.
As we speak, it's going to change.
So, right now,
do you have them in?
I do.
In the
Of course I do.
Okay.
They're going to be...
Me too. It's going to be close.
It's going to be a wild card spot.
The Rangers are right there.
No. No, not the Rangers. They beat the Rangers the other day.
I don't know. I think if a team falls out, it's gonna be Columbus though, which sucks.
Yeah, I agree with that. Columbus, another one of those teams that has been sneaky good. Very, very
Sean
sneaky
Monahan, amazing first line center.
good. Yeah, yeah. So, you know what? I think
So, okay, let's just figure this out here. Columbus Blue Jackets in or out?
out.
New York Rangers in or out?
Let me pull up the standings right now, just so I know what I'm speaking about. The Rangers. I'm gonna put. They would be one of my team. There's one spot left.
Yeah,
It's
and is
between
it
the
gonna go to
Jackets, the Rangers, and the Canadians and the Red Wings.
Yeah. Do the Canadians get that?
No.
Okay.
I like the Canadians.
So
I like their team.
Canadians
I don't think.
aren't in.
Just something tells me this is not the year to make the
I mean,
playoffs. Next year is the year to make the playoffs.
That's probably what everyone was saying too at the start of the year.
I'm gonna say the Rangers.
Okay.
The New York Rangers.
No, that's the most logical answer.
Shesterkin, obviously, like
And
it's a goaltending league nowadays.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to have a goalie in order to win.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the Rangers.
We're not gonna talk like obviously Canadian hockey, but man, this playoffs, this like just like last year, we're gonna have all those stipulations on the final day. This Eastern Conference wild card race is gonna be so interesting getting down to
and,
it.
and how about this? If the Leafs win the Atlantic and the Sens, as projected, get first
You'll
wild
be in
card,
the building, eh?
I will hopefully, living in Toronto as a Sens fan, I will hopefully be at
Maybe Rogers
Scotiabank
will get us a
if
couple
I can
seats.
afford it, because I know it's expensive.
Rogers, get us in there,
But how good of a series would Sens Leafs be in round one?
man. That would be a great. I don't even know what to say. That'd just be awesome. Great television, and that would be by far the best series, I would think.
And
I mean, Carolina, New Jersey would be also pretty sick, but
And,
I think Carolina's got that.
I'm gonna get a bit off script, but I saw something like this. It was like this could actually logically work out. Sens Leafs, Panthers Lightning.
Man,
What was those two series? There was a couple others. See if I can get into this.
like if the Caps play the Rangers,
yeah,
that would be amazing. And then
Jets Wild.
right now we've got Hurricanes Devils. Like,
Jets Wild. Like that's Manitoba and Minnesota are right there. And
to
Geographic?
be honest, I think the Western Conference doesn't. I'm not as stoked for this playoffs. I don't think.
Oilers Flames.
Other than that, but that's probably not going to happen.
Okay. Anyways, a Sens Leafs matchup in the first round would be crazy.
Yeah.
Actually, I would be probably as a Sens fan, probably the matchup I would want. I don't want to play the Panthers in round one.
No.
I don't think anybody wants to play the Panthers at all.
Panthers Rangers would be interesting.
Yeah. I think any team that plays the Panthers is going to get smoked.
That's fair. Igor Shesterkin.
And then I think the real question is, do I want to play the Caps or do I want to play the Leafs? And I don't know. They're both teams that are good, obviously.
I mean, I don't know.
What do you think? Would the Sens fare better against the Caps or the Leafs?
The Leafs.
I agree. Right now, as recording,
But it's tough because the Caps, I don't know. The Caps are so interesting. Like they strike me as a team that might be done. I just feel like they might not be able to make it through the playoffs.
That's the only thing what's making me consider
Yeah.
me wanting to play the Caps over the Leafs. I think the Sens would put up a very, very good
It would
fight
hurt
against the Leafs.
It would hurt more if you lost to the Leafs too.
Yeah, I don't actually. As a Sens fan, I don't think I'm emotionally ready for them to play the Leafs.
Well,
at
that's
all.
why I'm excited.
I would probably die. Actually, I'm not excited if they ever play the Leafs in the playoffs.
Okay.
But nonetheless, yeah, it'd be a very good series.
Any final thoughts on the East before we go to the West, and then we'll wrap?
No, I think playoff teams quickly. Leafs, Sens, and the Canadians are missing.
Okay. And obviously in the West now we've got Oilers, Jets, and where do you see what do you see going on here with the wild card situation? Do either Canadian team get in? I know my answer.
Okay, well you go first then.
I think neither make it in.
Okay. Right now the Flames are holding
That is
wild card
correct.
2 spot.
Yeah, and I mean, man, if they can beat the Canucks tonight, this March 12th. It sucks. I can't believe that it comes out in 2 weeks, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's such a. I can't believe we're missing that game too. But basically, I see neither of those teams getting in. Utah is a very interesting team. They've got that like just out of nowhere skill. Like Dylan Gunther out of nowhere is good. Their D-core is great. St. Louis is interesting. I just don't see it.
You really think that Utah is going to beat out the Flames and the Canucks?
they've
those are really the three big teams for that wild card. Those are the three teams.
St. Louis is right there too, but
No, St. Louis. Oh yeah,
St. Louis,
I didn't
I
even
don't
see
know.
that.
St. Louis is the most like meh team ever. Like I've never thought of them
So
as something good.
realistically, there's only one wild card spot left. Wild card 2. The Blues are there.
The Wild aren't falling.
The Blues are there.
I think
Flames.
there's a higher chance a Canadian team, like, there's a good chance a Canadian team gets the third spot in the Pacific than catching the Wild, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
It's
realistically,
interesting.
there's one wild card spot left. Flames, Canucks, Utah, Blues. So that's the fight for it right now. And I do like the Blues. I do. I don't think, unfortunately, I know you're a Flames fan, but I don't think
No, I don't
they'll
think
make
the
the
Flames will
playoffs.
make it. No,
Okay.
they're not good enough.
And you don't
And if
think,
they do, they'll get killed.
I'd say the Blues. I'd probably the Blues. Their goal differential right now is only -7. That's the best out of the 4 teams we just named.
I think we can agree on this. Whatever team makes this second wild card will get killed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Like it's not like it's just so hard
Yeah.
talking about it because they're gonna get killed, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't.
It's
I don't
different. I think it's different than the East. The top
Yeah.
teams in the West are the teams that are always in the playoffs. And they're just gonna
Like
destroy
LA
the
just
team.
out. Like LA's been there in that third Pacific spot for like 3 years. It feels like.
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
They're not dropping.
Although they could go up. Actually, they're only 1 point back with the
Yeah.
game in hand
That
right
would
now.
be interesting. But
So we'll see how that goes on.
Oilers, not Lakers. Oilers, Kings, man. That's gonna.
So see, it's every
I
playoffs.
want the King. I know. I want the Kings to finally freaking win. Like
They
I just
won't.
want
I don't
that.
think they
They
will.
won't. But I want that. I mean, I don't have any final thoughts. You have any final thoughts on this Western Conference? Like, it's just so Like
The
the Canucks
only-
I think the Canucks have a higher chance than the Flames, which is unfortunate.
I agree with that.
But I don't know. The Flames have better goals.
And so does my ranking. My ranking also agrees with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 teams for sure. Jets, Oilers. They will be in the playoffs most likely, unless the Oilers somehow crash out or something like that. I don't know. But Jets for sure, best team in the league. We already talked about that.
Yeah.
Flames Canucks is going to be close. I agree. Canucks better chance than the Flames.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I give more of a chance of neither of those teams making than one of them making. So
Yeah. I mean, any final thoughts on today's pod?
not really. Lots of fun things coming up. World Championships only a month away for the women's.
That's exciting.
That will be very exciting. We'll have lots of content on that.
Everything's wrapping up. Got CHL. We're gonna talk a little bit of U Sports.
Yep.
Actually, some big news came out about U Sports that we're
Big
gonna
news.
talk about later.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense talking about it now. It's off topic, but that would be fun to get into. I'm excited as two U Sports watchers as ourselves. It's gonna be exciting next year. It's gonna be better hockey,
Yeah.
and that's gonna be fun. CHL is gonna be interesting. Gonna take a good dive in there. Women's gonna be great. We're gonna have men's world championships too that we're gonna have to talk about.
Yeah.
Playoffs. Everything's coming at your way. It's exciting.
Yeah. So a little bit of a different episode today.
Yeah.
Talk
Oh,
about the
yeah.
NHL. Still
Yes,
Canadian. Still Hockey Canada. Still
Yes.
Canadian hockey.
Mhm.
But yeah,
We did
lots-
talk a lot about Connor Hellebuck though.
We did. Which is okay.
Nah.
Lots to look forward to. Remember, check out the socials. We'll be
Yes,
posting a lot more.
Yes.
Um,
We're getting there.
especially when things start to ramp up, we'll have a lot
Yeah.
more to post.
Exactly.
So if you want to keep informed about anything and everything Canada Hockey or Hockey Canada related, make sure to follow us on Instagram at True North Ice. Because that's where you get all your content. That's how you
Yes,
stay
sir.
up to date, just like that.
Yeah, that's all I got. Great episode. Went into the NHL. First time we've kind of went into league. Obviously, we did the first 3 were on international stuff. Next week, I think we know what we're doing. We're going to be talking about the greatest Canadian hockey teams, and we might mix in some women's or some U Sports or CHL. We
Yeah.
haven't decided yet, but we will be most likely talking about greatest Canadian hockey teams.
Yeah. Which team is the best Team Canada of all time?
Yes.
We're going to dive right into that.
Into it.
And
It's
we're
gonna
going
be
to
fun.
talk about World Championships.
Oh,
We're going to
yeah.
talk about the Olympics. We're talking about Canadian Cups, everything. So that's you can't miss that episode. That's a
miss
must
it.
watch. Must watch episode right there.
Must listen.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's all I got. I think we're good to go, eh, Jake?
I agree. Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening, and yeah, stay tuned for next week. Peace out.
See you guys.